Appreciate everybody being here. Excited to be at report day. Already started meetings here this morning with the players. Really proud of the work that they've put in throughout the course of the summer. I think it's been a very productive summer, one that we've tried to utilize the time that we could spend together, there on the field, being able to maximize the time in the meeting room as well. You're really working to build the cohesiveness within this group, and that's one of the big focus as we get into this fall camp is really work to establish each side of the ball. It can be a lot of competition. Guys that have done a great job in continuing to grow and develop in their time. Here at Florida State, whether it's been 7-8 months or whether it's been 5 or 6 years, and but for this team to come together and to be able to put their stamp on this 2025 season, a ton of energy, excitement. I've talked a lot, and a week ago there at ACC Media Days about the edge that we've been looking for and really demanding on a daily basis, and what we're doing and what we want it to look like, because there is one shot, there's one opportunity, and it's going to take everybody in our program to go and push, pull, whatever the task is that's in front of you, whatever it takes to go and win, and to win in all things that we're doing, and to continue to push this program and to get this program back to what I expect it to be, what it deserves to be, and what better way than to be able to kick off here in Doak Campbell Stadium at full capacity here on August 30th. There's a lot of excitement within all things in our program for what's here ahead. But we got 25 practices. We'll starting off tomorrow, and I know our guys are ready to work. I do want to give a shout out to just all of the departments that have invested so much time and energy in helping prepare these players, from Coach Storms and his staff, in strength and conditioning, to Josh Chapman and all of our athletic training group, to Jaden Hamill and nutrition, and obviously Kenneth and your group there academically. I mean, it's all hands on deck when it comes to helping these guys continue to grow and build that confidence that's necessary, and obviously the work that's gone into allowing them to put themselves in a position to really go do something special, and that's what we're set out to go do. And the work continues, but the 2025 journey starts tomorrow once we hit that practice field. So with that, I'll take some questions.
First question will be Chris. What are some of the things you did this offseason to try to establish that edge? What was different about this offseason in regards to working towards that goal?
For us, it was everything had a focus of competition, and whether it was back in the winter program, tour of duty, there was not a day that went by where you would have the work, the reps, the things that were throughout the course of a workout, but we ended with a competition, and I wanted to see guys with all eyes on them, where they would go, what it would look like, when it's one-on-one, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and what you're willing to pour into it, what you're willing to take from the experience. I mean, and there's nobody ever wants to face disappointment in those with those opportunities. But then I also got to see the response. I got to see the edge that was brought when things were good for somebody, and then at times whenever it wasn't. We a lot of group opportunities that that guys had a chance to work through and work with, and just trying to establish that identity. It didn't matter where, when, time, situation. I mean, if you get a chance to compete, go put it all out there. And with the result, where do you go from there? And I've really liked the mindset of this team. I've liked the way that they've challenged each other, inspired each other, pushed each other, and that's something that is needed, and it's something that I think is this football team has really embraced, and I'm excited to see that carry over into fall camp as we get a little bit deeper into the situations that we're going to potentially face, and making sure that we're building this team in all three phases with these guys truly leading the charge.
Stay there for Brendan.
You talked before about, with Gus being here, your role being able to meet players where they're at more, spend more time with them in different ways. For you, like, what has that meant for you to be able to spend that time with players, get to know them at even maybe a closer level?
It's I love that part of it, and I'm here to help these guys go, live out the dreams that they have, and to be able to maximize the potential, to be able to showcase and shine for all areas of their life, but and then specifically for the players that they're continuing to grow to be. And as you go through the course of a year, whether it's off season, spring practice, summer workouts, and the season that's ahead. I mean, there's going to be plenty of situations that are going to show up where guys have to, they've got to go take a step, and they've got to respond to the good, the bad, the things that feel good, and then obviously the things that it might be a disappointing play, it might be a disappointing moment, it might be a tragedy that they experience outside of the football field, but to be able to meet them with where they are and to help guide them and elevate the response that they have. I mean, that's what makes this journey worth it, is to be able to tell the stories. And we've got an incredible group of young men. I think they've got outstanding character. They've really spent a lot of time investing in each other. They're on the outside, and that's another part of it, is just to get their perspective. As a coach, you can see it, you can believe it, but these players, I mean, they live it day to day, side by side, and just being able to even hear from them who it is that's having that positive influence, or who that is that is challenging them, and just really being able to grasp that that perspective, whether it's in a one-on-one meeting or just kind of meeting them where they're at, has really been good for me. And it's something that allows me to implement different whether it's different strategies, different things of where we might have a need, or be able to just help a player along through a situation that they're going through. And so really looking forward to continue to build upon that for all the things on the field as well as off the field as we go through the course of this season, but specifically start with fall camp.
I don't think we haven't asked you about Zach Arnett yet, what he brings to the staff, and now adding to this larger group of former head coaches you have now on the staff. What does that do for just the staff overall? No,
I mean, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have Coach Arnett here, and I think Zach is an outstanding outstanding person. Just in having him here for the last I guess right around a month or 3 weeks, whatever that time frame has been. I mean, just seeing him and his interaction with the guys on this staff, seeing his interaction with the players, brings great energy. This is the first time I'm getting a chance to work side by side with him, but has had great relationships, and I've had a great deal of respect for the job that he's done throughout the course of his career, and be able to bring him in, somebody that is obviously very familiar with Coach White. Tony coached him when he was in college. So this goes back 15, 20 years for just their relationship, and being able to have guys that that have that belief in each other, the understanding, but also can Zach brings his perspective on all things, and helping support and push our defense and as well as our program to where we all want it to go. And so it was a great opportunity, and very excited about his role and the impact that he's going to make here.
Coach, we've heard you say it, we've heard some players say it, but the word desperate to be better, we've heard you say that. Can you kind of contextualize what that looks like on the field? What is it that you are looking for out of this group of players when you say you want them to be desperate to be better? I
mean, I want every bit of who they are to go be what they can become. And, there's not going to be a player that stands up and, says they want to be mediocre, or they want to be average, or everybody's going to say the same things. It's like every team when they report, this is a year, this is the time, this is it all sounds the same. But when on a daily basis, what shows up? I mean, are you truly willing to give everything? As important of the one play, the one moment, the one day, the one opportunity that you have, are you willing to give all? with a sense of desperation to make it happen. Like, it might not look good, it might not feel good. All right, the odds might be stacked against you, but are you willing to rise up and overcome? And as we go through this process of helping a group of 18 to 22-year-olds, helping a coaching staff, everybody coming together for this season, are we really willing to go and put it all out there and to live and be what we say we desire? And that you got to come with a daily focus, a daily edge. I mean, that competition has got to drive everything that's within. But you got to eliminate. You have to eliminate all areas of complacency. You got to eliminate all areas of comfort. You've got to be willing to give every bit of it, and that sense of desperation. I mean, that's what I want for this team, and I don't say it in a negative light or anything else. It's just, man, being able to get all that we can with the players, the staff, this program that's in front of us, and I got a lot of belief for what that can be, and I don't want to hold anything back.
In checking with Coach Storms after the summer workouts, did you guys notice any notable or remarkable physical transformations amongst any of the players specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really pleased with what I've seen from our guys. We've had some guys that have done a great job in gaining, losing, all that. But what I like is just the body comps. Yes, everything's tested, everything's gone through. I mean, but at the end of the day, I know what speed looks like, and I know what the power of movements in the weight room. Now it's about the application, and I feel good about where this team is from a skill set process, and what we've been able to build and develop, and kind of the position that they're in. Now it's time to go apply that, and but they've done a remarkable amount of work in helping prepare themselves for what's ahead here for these next 25 practices. But that's what I want to go see. I want to see the application of all of the the gains in the weight room for the things that they've been able to do physically, because we have an impressive group when it comes to that, but it's time to go apply it into playing the game.
Next will be Michael, second row on your left. But you have a lot of guys that came in the summer. I guess first, talk about just what you've seen out of them so far. I know you haven't done a fall camp yet, but just them coming in, and then too, there's a lot of excitement with 2026. Seems like a lot of kids are believing in what the journey you're doing going into the Alabama game. So maybe talk about both of those things.
Yeah, I think it's been great seeing this entire team really come together with the guys that returned from a year ago. Just the mindset they brought, the work they've been pouring in. The newcomers that have joined us that were here throughout the spring. I thought was really good to get a sense of the foundation of the relationships and the impact that these guys can make. And then even coming into the summer, we've been able to add some really impressive young men that also I think have a chance to be dynamic players. Jerry Wilson's a guy that has really stood out to me just through the workouts. His mindset, his approach, the work that he's poured in. Even just in the meeting room, doing things on his own to be able to help accelerate his process. Gavin Sawchuk has done a great job. Gavin Blackwell, but those guys really, they've transitioned, very nicely into this program, and I think that you see the skill set that we had seen on film, and the opportunity that they're going to have to be able to make an impact within our program. But then coupling that with some of the freshmen that have come in that I think absolutely have a chance to have a chance to be able to make their impact as we get into this season. Obviously getting out there and seeing them in pads and being able to go against somebody else rather than just the athletic talent. I mean, that's going to be a big part of our evaluation, and putting all these different guys in position to showcase all that they can do, and finding that those right groupings, the obviously the competition, and who's going to go out and be the game changer that we need on a consistent basis. As those guys are able to perform and showcase all that they are.
We'll go to Matt, third row on your right.
Chroma's one of those guys who have come in over the summer. I remember you saying at a booster event that he might be the recruit you've watched the most in that process. Has he been what you guys think so far in the early stages?
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of those freshmen that I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see his transition. He has in my coaching career. I don't think I've ever watched a prospect more in person than what I watched him. I saw, I think every year I was able to see him play in a game, throughout his high school career. Basketball. I mean, I know the competitor he is. I know the versatility that he can bring, and just the overall level of talent. And he definitely has not disappointed through the course of summer workouts. And it's a lot to be able to make that jump, but I think he's built for it. And very excited to get him out there on the field and see him, what he can do.
It seemed like there was a lot of excitement about the backup quarterbacks in the spring, the way they were adapting to the offense and settling in. What have you seen from them since spring to now in terms of just understanding and comfort level?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great push. Obviously, as you go into summer workouts, I mean, you can get your allotted time on the field, but you can't go against the defense. There's some things that limits you in that type of action. I know our players, they did a great job of trying to do as much as they could on their own and helping facilitate that competition. But these guys have they've really done a wonderful job in their work ethic and their understanding, even just in the communication, where guys are supposed to be, not just knowing what their role and responsibility is on a given play, but being able to take command and control of what we're asking them to do and asking the offense to do as a whole. And I think that you see the efficiency in how they're operating. You see the growth and just their comfort and footwork timing, the things that they're are able to do, on air. I mean, has been really good, and I'm excited to see that carry over as we get a chance to compete, offense, defense, here in fall camp.
Go back to Liam on your right.
Mike, obviously since the spring, the House settlement has passed. How did that change anything in your offseason? Did you feel like you guys were prepared? Did you feel like there were any challenges that you didn't anticipate? Just kind of talking about that settlement structure and the rev share agreements. Where are you guys at with that?
No, I think we're in a really good place. Obviously, it's something that was anticipated of coming just throughout the year. I mean, but until it was set and done, it was something that we were kind of had to work through and be prepared. But you worked hand in hand with our general counsel, and I think that they've done an extraordinary job, poured in a lot of time, work. This is it's an opportunity that's really special for our student athletes to be able to impact their futures. Obviously all the things that they've put themselves in a position to be able to do, and I feel really good about where we are, and just all things as we get to kick off here tomorrow.
What gives you confidence with your offensive line, specifically the 4 transfers you brought in who are kind of perceived starters at this stage?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. You see it through every guy that came in was a multi-year starter at a previous institution. So you've seen their growth, their development. I feel like we've got a great group that they understand what it is to play that position. And there's whether it's easy to come in and just be have a singular focus of themselves, but these guys they have truly done a wonderful job of building the group as a whole, and bringing some of the guys that were here, some of the guys that have come in, whether it's the freshmen or younger players that are continuing to develop, just seeing that group really gel together. But I mean, we've seen these guys. We've got a great understanding of ability, potential, but also how they've responded throughout the course of their careers, to the good, to the bad. And I have big expectations for the growth that they're going to show this year, as an individual, but collectively, being able to reestablish our expectation for how that position needs to go and perform. And I've got we've got a lot of excitement, and I think we've got depth, we've got talent, we've got ability, but guys that I think really have a high ceiling for what they can do together.
Brendan?
Ask this knowing that depth charts are always kind of fluid and moving. Do you have a sense for just how fluid that this might be in preseason camp, given the amount of new guys you have coming in?
I think finding those, probably more into the specifics of, here as we're early into the season, what the roles that guys define for themselves, and you're going to have a lot of competition at positions. I think guys that are that bring versatility in what they can do on both sides of the ball. And it's we've got two dynamic coordinators that I think the way they utilize personnel as kind of the secret sauce in their success throughout the course of their careers. And so finding the roles that our players establish for themselves as they've shown continued growth from when we ended in spring practice, or when guys have now come on campus, and then whether it's the different groupings, the different roles, packages, all the things that we can do because of that to help showcase that, I think will really make this a team that can be dangerous with the talent that we have and the guys that we've been able to see grow within this program. So. I think there will be a little bit of ebb and flow in it throughout 25 practices, but all of our focus is about making sure that when we get here to August 30th, that whatever grouping it is, whatever situation that shows up, that the best are out there and confident in what they're being asked to do to go perform at an elite level.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a great one.